All right, let's set the stage. Two men, one known for throwing punches, the other for throwing insults sharper than his pocket watch chain. Conor McGregor and Dan Peña. One's an MMA superstar turned whiskey mogul. The other's a billionaire business coach who could probably turn your grandma into a Fortune 500 CEO if she had the stomach for it. On the surface, these two might seem worlds apart until you realize McGregor's meteoric rise isn't just about knockouts. There's a method to the madness, a transformation. And if you squint hard enough, you'll see the shadow of a three-piece suit guiding his journey. You ever wonder how a guy goes from choking people out in a cage to sipping whiskey in a three-piece suit, all while cashing million-dollar checks? Or how an oil tycoon turned life coach turns broke dreamers into boardroom sharks? Today, we're peeling back the layers on Conor McGregor and Dan Peña, two men who prove that success isn't for the faint-hearted or the casually dressed. Or let's figure out how they cracked the code and maybe why you're still stuck in sweatpants. Let's talk about Dan Peña, the man who could probably motivate a rock to start a business. His infamous castle workshop in Scotland is where dreams go to either die or get supercharged. For $10,000, you don't just get life advice, you get obliterated and rebuilt. 7 days of wearing tailored suits, waking up at the crack of dawn, and being yelled at until you forget what excuses even are. And if you survive, he doesn't let you off the hook. You're expected to fax him your spreadsheets and progress reports for a year. If you can't handle the heat, he's already written you off. The philosophy is brutal but effective. Look sharp, think sharp, and act like you've already won. It's not for everyone, but for those who embrace it, it's transformative. And as we'll soon see, one particular MMA fighter might have taken some serious notes from this castle-bound overlord of self-improvement. Now, here's where things get intriguing. Picture this. Conor McGregor, the notorious MMA fighter known for his brash talk and knockouts, suddenly evolves from sporting tank tops and tattoos to donning three-piece suits that would make a CEO jealous. Coincidence? Maybe. But let's entertain a theory. What if our Irish pugilist took a leaf out of Dan Peña's well-manicured playbook? Around the time McGregor was gearing up to fight Floyd Mayweather, something shifted. He wasn't just preparing for the biggest boxing match of his life, he was rebranding. Tailored suits, pocket squares, the kind of swagger that says, I don't just play the game, I own it. If you slapped a pocket watch on him, you'd start to wonder if Peña had a long-lost son. Side by side, Peña and McGregor look like they shop at the same Masters of the Universe boutique. Sharp attire, sharper attitudes, and a mutual understanding that dressing the part is half the battle won. Now, do I have ironclad proof that McGregor attended Peña's castle workshop? No, I left my spy gear in my other suit. But sometimes where there's smoke, there's an Irishman in a bespoke suit lighting a cigar with a $100 bill. Whether he sat through Peña's brutal boot camp or picked up cues from afar, McGregor transformed himself from just another fighter into a global brand. He leveraged his image, talked the talk, and walked the catwalk all the way to the bank. He didn't just enter the whiskey business. He became the whiskey business, launching Proper No. 12 and toasting to a new kind of victory. So, did Dan Peña mentor Conor McGregor? It's a tantalizing thought. Maybe great minds dress alike. Maybe the universe has a dress code for success. Either way, McGregor's metamorphosis teaches us that if you want to change your game, sometimes you start by changing your suit and your mindset. Let's dive into McGregor's transformation from cage fighter to boardroom brawler. Conor McGregor didn't just want to be the best fighter in the world, he wanted to be the richest. And let's be honest, punching people in the face has a shelf life. But leveraging that notoriety, that's timeless. It all started with one bold move, signing the deal to fight Floyd Mayweather. That fight wasn't just a money printing machine, it was a masterclass in branding. McGregor didn't just show up, he showed off. Sharp suits, fiery trash talk, and the kind of swagger that screams, I'm more than just a pair of fists. He turned himself into a walking, talking, multi-million-dollar advertisement. Then came Proper No. 12, his whiskey brand. McGregor didn't just slap his name on the bottle, he made it an extension of his persona. Proper No. 12 wasn't just whiskey, it was the Conor McGregor experience, bottled and sold by the millions. He proved that he wasn't just a fighter, he was a businessman, a brand, a force to be reckoned with. But here's the genius, McGregor didn't stop there. From fashion collaborations with David August to his foray into real estate, and even talks of owning a stake in fight promotions, he diversified faster than most people changed their Netflix passwords. This isn't just a story about success, it's a blueprint. McGregor turned his fame into fortune by thinking bigger, acting smarter, and dressing better. He became a brand, not just a man. And if there's one lesson here, it's that opportunity doesn't knock, it walks in wearing a three-piece suit, ready to negotiate. Or let's face it, people judge books by their covers, and if your cover looks like it just rolled out of bed, don't expect anyone to read past the introduction. Dan Peña figured this out decades ago. He's been preaching the gospel of tailored suits and polished shoes like it's the 11th commandment. And McGregor? He took that advice and ran with it, straight to the top. McGregor didn't just upgrade his wardrobe, he weaponized it. Every time he stepped out in a sharp three-piece suit, he wasn't just dressing for the occasion. He was sending a message: I'm not just a fighter. I'm a businessman, a brand, a kingpin in a world of pawns. That level of confidence can't be bought off the rack, it's tailored. Peña has a saying, dress like you're serious and people will take you seriously. McGregor mastered this. He understood that the way you present yourself doesn't just influence how others see you, it transforms how you see yourself. When you look the part, you start to believe it, and that belief is what fuels action. But this isn't just about suits and pocket squares, it's about understanding the environments you're in and adapting to them. Whether it's a boardroom, a press conference, or a fight promotion, McGregor has shown he can dominate any arena, not just with his words, but with his presence. So, is appearance everything? No, but it's the gateway. Dress like a champion, act like a champion, and before you know it, you might just become one. Or here's the thing about success, it doesn't wait for you to get comfortable. If you can't adapt, you're going to get left behind. Dan Peña calls it being a chameleon. Conor McGregor, he calls it winning. McGregor has this uncanny ability to walk into any room, whether it's a fight press conference, a business meeting, or a Vegas nightclub, and own it. He adapts to the environment, but he never loses himself in it. He plays the part, sure, but he plays it on his own terms. That's the difference between fitting in and standing out. And here's where most people trip up. They think adapting means losing authenticity. Wrong. Adapting isn't about becoming someone else, it's about amplifying who you are to thrive in any situation. McGregor doesn't stop being the notorious when he puts on a suit. He just shifts the tone, less fists, more finesse. Dan Peña's philosophy aligns with this. He preaches that if you walk into a room unprepared, be it dressed poorly, acting out of place, or feeling out of your depth, you've already lost. Success demands that you play the game, know the rules, and bend them to your advantage. So whether you're stepping into a boardroom or a cage, the lesson is the same: adapt. Learn the environment, own it, and leave no doubt about who you are. It's not about blending in, it's about blending up and making them remember you long after you've left. Now, if you think we're done peeling back the layers of McGregor's transformation, think again. There's one more piece of the puzzle we need to tackle: how he uses his words as weapons. In my follow-up video, we're diving into the art of persuasion, McGregor style. From his razor-sharp trash talk to the way he psychs himself up, there's a method behind the madness. It's not just about sounding confident, it's about creating a feedback loop that convinces the world and himself that he's already won. And guess what? That method has a name: Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP. Yeah, it sounds like something a self-help guru would sell you for $997, but McGregor makes it look effortless. We'll dissect his speech patterns, his stage presence, and why his words hit harder than most people's fists. So if you've ever wondered how charisma, confidence, and chaos can come together to build an empire, stick around. The next video is where we connect all the dots and maybe even teach you how to talk your way into your own version of success. Don't miss it. Here's the takeaway, folks. Success isn't reserved for the smartest, the strongest, or even the luckiest. It's for the bold. The ones who are willing to adapt, reinvent, and step into a room like they already own it. Whether you're Conor McGregor throwing punches or Dan Peña throwing life-altering insults, the formula is the same: mindset, presence, and execution. McGregor didn't stop at being a fighter, and Peña didn't settle for being just another businessman. They both understood that the game changes when you stop playing by everyone else's rules and start making your own. So what's stopping you? Is it your comfort zone, your fear of failing, or maybe it's the idea that the world owes you something? Newsflash, it doesn't. But if you're ready to bet on yourself, take risks, and dress the damn part, you might just surprise yourself. Success, my friends, is a brutal, unforgiving game. But if two guys as polarizing as McGregor and Peña can master it, what's your excuse? Now, go out there, adapt, own your environment, and make people wonder what you know that they don't.